Back with another episode of Pottawattamie County Routes. Hi, I'm Todd Studer. Today, we're going to take a look at what is happening around Pottawattamie County this weekend. This is one of those weekends where the calendar really does show how much is happening when we stop and just kind of pay attention to it. There's events all over. Council Bluffs, Crescent, Carter Lake, Walnut, Underwood, Carson, Honey Creek. There's garage sales, there's farmers markets, there's live music, art events, library activities, conservation conversations. I'm going to have to rethink how I say that. That's kind of tough to get out. Also, there's gardening classes, there's motocross racing, there's a car show that's tied to a summer snack drive, and even the start of Vacation Bible School. So this is not one of those weekends where there is one big thing happening and everything else is quiet. This weekend, several different communities around the county are giving people a reason to get out, spend some time locally, support businesses, support volunteers, and see a little more of what's happening in the place where we live. And that is what I believe matters. When we talk about weekend events, it's easy to treat it like we're just reading from a calendar. Here's the name, here's the time, here's the address, here's the next thing. But I think it's bigger than that because every event represents somebody's making an effort. Somebody had to plan it. Somebody had to post it and had to line up vendors or musicians or volunteers. And there has to be someone there to open the doors, to prepare the space, to create the flyer, to make the phone calls, and then hope people would care enough to show up. But when people do show up, that's what matters. It matters to the small business owner trying something new. It matters to the vendor who loaded up their car and hoped there would be people ready to buy. It matters to the musician who needs places to play. It matters to the library that wants to be more than a building full of books. It matters to the people who care about parks and natural spaces. And it matters to the organizations that are trying to serve families, kids, neighborhoods, and towns across the county. So today, I'm going to give you the practical information because that's important. You need to know what is happening, where it's happening, and when it's happening. But I also want to talk about why these things deserve support. Because if we want active communities, strong local businesses, useful public spaces, and a county that feels connected, then we need to take part in the things already happening around us. All right, let's start with what's going on today on this Friday. Now in Crescent, the citywide garage sale is underway. It's going on until 4 this afternoon. It will continue tomorrow from 8 to 4. Also, we want to talk a little bit about why a citywide garage sale has a different kind of energy than just one sale and one driveway. This is going to get people moving through the neighborhoods. It gives families a reason to clean out things they no longer need and give someone else a chance to find something useful at a price that makes sense. It's especially valuable now because a lot of people are watching what they spend, and garage sales can make household items, kids' items, tools, furniture, and collectibles more affordable. There's also something good about reuse. So instead of something sitting in a basement, a garage, or eventually ending up in a landfill, it can end up with someone who actually wants it. Now, that may sound simple, but it is practical. It's affordable. And it brings people into casual conversations with neighbors and visitors. Also today, the Carter Lake Public Library has their CLPL Passive Plant Swap. Now that is going on until 5:30 this afternoon at the Carter Lake Public Library. If you've never been there, it's at 1120 Willow Drive in Carter Lake. The event listing is describing this as people can trade indoor plants or small outdoor plants, and it asks that plants and seeds be healthy, pest-free, labeled, and either in soil or rooted in water. And it also says people should only bring pots that they're willing to give away. I like events like this because they're simple and they're useful. So if you have a plant that's grown enough to be divided or seeds you're not going to use, something rooted in water that could become someone else's plant, this gives you a reason to share it. It also gives someone else a chance to take home something new without having to buy it from a store. And I also like what this says about libraries. Libraries are not just places where books sit on shelves. They're public gathering spaces. They're places where people can exchange ideas. They can learn something. They can take part in programs. And they can connect over shared interests. A plant swap may not be loud or flashy, but it is the kind of small community activity that makes a public space feel useful and alive. Coming up this afternoon in Walnut, it is that Walnut Farmers Market. Kim Canada was here earlier this week talking about it. It's going on today from 4 to 6. That'll be on the 600 block of Highland Street in Walnut. So the market's going to get started with local vendors, Dirty Pig Barbecue, Frosting Inc. With Kim's going to be open with extended hours. Other businesses popping up inside. This is where I think the downtown connection really matters. A farmer's market can help a small town business district because it gives people a reason to park the car, walk around, buy from vendors, get some food, and then notice what else might be open nearby. Someone may come for the market and stop in at Frosting Inc. or come for some Dirty Pig Barbecue, end up checking out a vendor. Someone sees another business in Walnut they maybe even didn't know was there. That's how one event can help more than one person. It's not just about the farmers market itself. It's about creating movement in a business district and giving people a reason to spend a Friday evening somewhere local. Now, tonight, music lovers, several options around Council Bluffs. A little bit more bands scheduled from 8 to midnight at Sugar's. That's at 2725 East Canesville in Council Bluffs. Also, Whiskey Business will be taking the stage at 9 at Whiskey Roadhouse. And let's see, the Dock Bar and Grill has Got You Covered returning tonight. And they are located at 401 Veterans Memorial Highway in Council Bluffs. So, Got You Covered, boy, they really know how to bring a party. So if you like some of the greatest rock music from the 70s and 80s, this is going to be the show for you. Now, that's going to give people several different Friday night live music options. If you're in Council Bluffs, you can stay right at home. Live music deserves support. Believe me, I really, truly believe in this because venues do not keep booking bands if nobody shows up. Musicians, they need rooms to play in. Restaurants and bars need reasons for people to come in, and the community needs more than errands and appointments. It needs places where people can go, relax, hear music, get something
Looking
to eat,
for something
get
fun,
to
June
drink,
27th?
just enjoy
Head to
being
Quaker
out.
Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs for Wheels of Courage from 11 to 2. Check out classic cars, hot rods, muscle cars, and more while supporting a great cause. Registration is only $20, and all proceeds benefit the Jenny Edmondson Foundation Cancer Center Charitable Patient Care Fund. Judging starts at noon with awards at 1 o'clock, trophies in 17 categories. For details or to register, visit jehfoundation.org. Primrose Retirement Community in Council Bluffs believes home should be a place of comfort, connection, and care. From personalized support to engaging daily activities, everything they do is designed to help residents live fully and confidently. At Primrose, that's their priority, to put the quality of their residents' care and daily needs at the top of their list each day and every day. It's not just about where you live, it's about how you live. Learn more about life at Primrose by going to primroseretirement.com and then contact Jamie Bush at Primrose and discover a place that truly puts people first.
All right, let's move now into tomorrow where that Crescent Citywide Garage Sale continuing from 8 to 4. So if you weren't able to make it out today, another full day to see what people have set up around town. Also, tomorrow morning, back in Walnut, it is Junk in the Trunk on Antique City Drive. The listing describes it as a pop-up marketplace where vendors can set up from cars, trucks, and tailgates, and makers, bakers, artists, vintage hunters, and food lovers are invited. And it also lists that there is no booth fee, and that is something worth paying attention to. Lowers the barrier for people to try something. Not every small business begins with a storefront. You know that? And maybe not a lease and maybe not a big investment. Sometimes it just begins with a trunk full of items and a folding table and a few baked goods, vintage finds, and maybe a person testing whether anyone is interested in what they have to offer. Events like Junk in the Trunk in Walnut give those people a place to try that. It gives shoppers variety and also gives creators and sellers a lower risk way to get in front of people. That's important in a county where we want more small businesses. We want more makers and more local sellers and more people willing to take that first step. Also tomorrow, there is another event. This one is in Underwood, the annual Junkwood event going on from 8 to 3. It'll be on Main Street in Underwood. It's rain or shine, and forecast right now says maybe rain. But still, get on out. Take a look at the antiques, all the vintage items, the collectibles, the primitives, crafts, food, drinks. It's a great fit. for people who like things with a story. So antiques or any of the other things going on, it's going to be a completely different feel than if you walk into a big box store and buy something off the shelf. This type of event has a little personality to it, and there's a little bit of fun in the hunt. You may find something you didn't know you were looking for until you see it. I also like something that they call upcycled, because it's creativity and it's practicality working together. Someone sees value in an item that might otherwise be overlooked, and they turn it into something useful, something decorative or interesting. Now, supporting that kind of event supports local creativity, local sellers, and a way of shopping that feels just a little more personal. All right, let's see. What else is going on? Midwest MX Series Racing, that's motocross, by the way, that is listed for tomorrow and Sunday at West Fair. Gets started at 9 both days. Amateur motocross riders from ages 4 to 70 competing at West Fair. Spectator areas and a food truck. And this is also, admission is $20 at the gate. There's going to be a different kind of energy this weekend because motocross, it's not quiet and it's not slow. Speed, sound, skill. Families put a lot of time into it. And that age range listed from 4 to 70, that tells you this is not just one narrow group of people. You're going to see kids, adults, families, competitors, spectators, all kinds of people who follow the sport. This is something that I was really passionate about as a kid. I never did race myself. I rode a lot of dirt bikes, and I rode them fast, and racing was always something I wanted to do. So an event like this, oh, man, it just kind of brings me back to that, and this also brings people into the county who may be spending money on food and fuel and supplies, all the other stops. So it's part of the value of sports tourism, even at the local and regional level. Brings people together and creates activity beyond the track itself. So tomorrow, there is also art events in Council Bluffs, Art Studio Open House scheduled from 10 to noon at Fieldco Creative. That is at 1010 South Main Street in Council Bluffs. Open Studios is listed from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Revolution Clay Studio, also at 1010 South Main. Art events matter because they give people a chance to connect with the creative side of the community. Sometimes, people don't even know where local artists are working or what creative businesses are doing or how to walk into those open spaces and learn more. Open houses and open studios make that easier. They invite people in. Also, it's all part of the local economy. Creative spaces, artists, makers, studios. This is what adds personality to a community, and it helps make a place more interesting. Gives people something to experience, not just something to buy. So when you support local art, you're helping to keep that creative energy visible. Let's see, what else is happening tomorrow? At Cochran Park in Council Bluffs, Patriotic Tie-Dye. That's scheduled tomorrow from 10 to noon. And people can drop by the park, get ready for America 250 with red, white, and blue tie-dye. People are asked to bring a white cotton clothing item, such as a T-shirt or socks or a bandana. Everything else is going to be provided. And it's listed for all ages while supplies last. And this is one that will be canceled if there is inclement weather. Good family-friendly activity. It's simple, it's creative, it's accessible. So you just bring the white cotton item and the rest will be there while supplies last. And also, something else that this does, and Cochran Park is really good at this, and the city uses this very well. It's putting a public park to use. It's not just an open space that sits there until somebody has a picnic. It could be places where kids can make something. Families spend time outside, and people create memories that are tied to a neighborhood space. It's a good use of public space. It's exactly the kind of programming that makes parks feel more connected to everyday life. Okay, let's see. Tomorrow morning, REAP Assembly at Hitchcock Nature Center. That's from 10:30 to noon. Let's see. This is free, and it's for all ages. Community members who are passionate about protecting Iowa's natural resources with conservation and conversation as priorities are set for Iowa's resource enhancement and protection program. This one's important because it's important in a completely different way. It's not entertainment, shopping, or performance. It's public participation, a chance for people who care about parks and trails and habitat and wildlife and outdoor spaces. You can be part of a conversation that helps shape those priorities. Hitchcock Nature Center, we talk about it a lot on this show. It is one of the real treasures here in the county. Places like Hitchcock do not stay protected, funded, and valued by accident. They need people who care enough to show up. Conservation is not just something that happens somewhere else. It happens right here in the Luss Hills and in our parks and in the natural spaces that make this area special. Tomorrow also has educational gardening events at Iowa Western, early season fruits and vegetables. What to start? Plant harvest is scheduled from 11 to noon. That's at Luft Hall at Iowa Western. Growing a privacy screen or windbreak also scheduled from 11 to 1 at Iowa Western. And those are the kind of learning events that are practical, and practicality matters. Gardening, food production, landscaping, windbreaks, taking care of property, all part of life for a lot of people in this area. So whether someone lives in town on an acreage or out in the country, learning how to grow food or plan a better windbreak can make a difference at home. This is not just information for information's sake. It is knowledge people can use. And when people learn how to manage their yards, in their gardens and their trees, and when they can manage their property better, that has benefits beyond one household. It can affect food, shade, wind protection, soil, water, and also how properties look and function. Then, let's talk about what's going on tomorrow in Carson. One of our favorites, Judge Richard Distillery. They have a College World Series kickoff party that's scheduled at 1 o'clock. And Judge Richard Distillery located at 121 Broadway in Carson.
Service Master Restore by Schmader knows it can be hard to get things back to normal when you've suffered serious property damage due to flooding, fire, or smoke, and that can oftentimes lead to mold. And you may be left with all sorts of questions about how to get your home or business back to normal. It's easy. You give Cindy Schmader a call with Service Master Restore by Schmader. Her phone number, 402-339-9911. Your home for all natural health solutions in southwest Iowa is Bambi's Green Acres Natural Market. Serving the area since 1997, Bambi is located at 805 South Main Street in Council Bluffs and has a wide selection of vitamins, supplements, essential oils, herbal remedies, and a lot more. Staffed with over 37 years of experience, Bambi is putting health back in your hands. Explore your wellness options online at bambisgreenacres.com.
So you're invited to come watch the College World Series, get a cold drink, and it's also free hot dogs all afternoon. And a special College World Series cocktail, including the home run, the strikeout, and Road to Omaha. Now, this is a local business taking a major regional event, puts its own local spin on it. You know that Bella over at Brewed Awakening has done that same thing with her coffee drinks in a World Series. So head over there to learn more about that too. You know, College World Series, it's an Omaha event, but everyone in the region takes part in this. And, you know, because all the excitement doesn't happen to take place across the river. Carson has a piece of that atmosphere too. Judge Richard Distillery, giving people a way to gather around it. And it's just smart local business. You know, it gives people a reason to come together, watch some baseball, have something to eat, try a themed drink, and support a business in Pottawattamie County. And you're still connected to one of the biggest sports events in the region. Tomorrow afternoon, drop-in Pokemon Club, scheduled from 2 to 4 at the Council Bluffs Public Library. Tomato Masterclass, also scheduled from 2 to 4 at the Council Bluffs Library. That's a pretty good example of how varied a library calendar can be. One event for Pokemon fans, the other for people who want to learn more about tomatoes. Those are two very different audiences, but both belong on a community calendar, and that variety matters too. A good public library is not just one thing for one type of person. It can serve kids, it can serve families, gardeners, readers, job seekers, hobbyists, students, and people looking for something useful to do. So when the library has that kind of variety, it becomes a more active part of the community. All right, tomorrow night, Switchback performing at 9 o'clock. That's at Risky Roadhouse, another live music option for the weekend. And then on Sunday, more Midwest Motocross Series racing continuing at West Fair. And also on Sunday, the Fueling Our Future Summer Snack Drive Car Show, scheduled from 11 to 2. This is at Backpackers Brew. That's at 1102 North 16th Street in Council Bluffs. Great coffee there at Backpackers Brew. She's really, really good at that. So this is going to be a community car show at Davis Performance, collecting kid-friendly summer snacks to support local youth. And it also mentions individually packaged snacks like fruit snacks, goldfish crackers. Also mentions there will be awards, Best in Show, People's Choice, Community Impact Award, and a Future Builders Award for young automotive enthusiasts. I love this kind of event. It connects something fun with something useful. A car show already gives people a reason to get together. People looking at cars, they're talking to owners, they're taking pictures, spending some time around that automotive culture. But when you add a snack drive to it, it gives people a simple way to help local kids at the same time. Summer creates real gaps for families. So when school is out, some support systems that exist during the school year, they're not as easy to access. A snack drive gives people a direct way to help. So bring kid-friendly, individually packed snacks. Show up, and you're part of something positive. Let's see. Plant Bingo with Sherbandis is going on at Ditmar's Orchard. That is on Sunday from 1 to 3. According to the listing that I saw, the bingo event is sold out, so don't assume you're going to be able to walk in and take part of bingo if the listing remains the same. But it also says no ticket is needed to stop by, sip, and shop. So Sherbandis may be on site with plants and goodies for purchase. And even with that bingo portion sold out, still plenty of reason to stop by Ditmar's if you're interested in the orchard, the vineyard, or shopping. Just a great chance to be outside, and this is also a great example of collaboration between local businesses. Ditmar's and Sherbandis teaming up to give people an experience that's different from what either business would offer by itself. Those kinds of partners make the local calendar a lot more interesting. And also, let's see, Vacation Bible School Illumination Station begins on this Sunday at Southside Christian Church. That is at 1919 South 10th Street. So, Vacation Bible School has been part of summer for a long time. I did it all the time when I was a kid. There's a lot of times there's structured evening activity and give churches a way to serve beyond Sunday morning and gives families another point of connection in the community. So when you look at the whole weekend, that is a full mix. You've got garage sales in Crescent, plant swap in Carter Lake, farmers market in Walnut, junk in the trunk, also in Walnut, Junkwood and Underwood, motocross at West Fair, art events in Council Bluffs, tie-dye at Cochran Park, conservation assembly at Hitchcock, gardening events at Iowa Western, College World Series party in Carson, library events in Council Bluffs, live music at Sugar's, at Whiskey Roadhouse, at the Dock, snack drive car show at Backpackers Brew, orchard event at Ditmar's, Vacation Bible School at Southside Christian. A lot of activity across one county in one weekend. That's why I think people should support these events. We all say we want more things to do, but the way more things happen is by supporting the things that are already there. If a farmer's market gets support, there's a better chance for it to continue. If vendors sell enough to make it worth their time, they come back. If a music event draws a crowd, venues are more likely to keep booking music. If a fundraiser collects what it needs, the organizers know the community is behind them. If people show up for conservation, parks and natural spaces stay visible and valued. That is how momentum works. One good turnout encourages another event. One successful event gives someone else confidence to organize the next one. One busy weekend helps a business owner, a vendor, a church, a library, a park, a volunteer group. They all know that the work was worth it. Here in Pottawattamie County, it matters because we're not all connected in one place. Council Bluffs is not Walnut, and Walnut's not Underwood, and Underwood is not Crescent. Carter Lake has its own identity. Honey Creek has its own identity. Every town and every part of this county has its own story, and that is a strength because it only becomes a strength if we pay attention to each other. You don't have to go to everything. Nobody can go to everything, but you can go to something. And when you go, remember, you are doing more than filling time on a weekend. You're helping create the kind of county you say you want to live in. You're helping support the people who keep trying to make things happen. You're helping local businesses stay visible. You're helping volunteers know that their effort matters. You're helping keep this county connected. So check the details before you head out, especially for anything that could be affected by the weather and anything that has limited space or anything that requires registration. But do find something that fits you. Go be part of it. Go walk through Crescent. Go trade a plant in Carter Lake. Go to the Walnut Farmers Market tonight. Go shop junk in the trunk. Go spend time at Junkwood. Watch the racing at West Fair. Visit an art studio. Go make a shirt at Cochran Park. Go talk some conservation at Hitchcock or learn something at Iowa Western. Catch some live music. You can go stop by Ditmars, support the local church, library, vendor. When you do all of that, you're not just attending an event. You help keep Pottawattamie County alive and active and connected. That is going to do it for this episode of Pottawattamie County Routes. My name's Todd Studer. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for supporting what is happening around the county. I'll see you next time.